Here with Dan Gould at the NWCA convention down here in Delray Beach, Florida, and your name is not necessarily one wrestling fans may recognize a whole lot in terms of maybe, I don't know, coaching experience, that type of thing, but your role in wrestling is a little more important to some way, in a lot of ways actually, and why don't you explain what your role here at the convention is, the leadership programs, and how your involvement in the NWCA is hopefully having an impact on our coaches.
Yeah, my background is I was a wrestler, then went on to be trained as a coach, and ended up a sports psychology specialist and researcher studying leadership and what it takes to coach and those type of things. So I've done that for about 35 years. And I've been hired by NWCA, and it's kind of a mixture of hired, volunteer, et cetera, to help them. Mike calls it the architect of the National Wrestling Coaches Association Coaching Leadership Academy. And the whole purpose of the academy was to give our collegiate coaches the skills that aren't necessarily given to them on the wrestling mat. The CEO skills, fundraising, marketing, public relations, community service, leadership, forming a vision for your program. Because we know they have the wrestling skills, and we know they have that knowledge. Obviously, they can always improve that. But it was these CEO skills that we feel is absolutely essential to put those together to make our wrestling program stronger collegiately around the country and grow the sport.
Now, as far as you're right now out of Michigan State, what are some things that you do on a daily basis that have helped with what you do in your 35 years of experience that you've been able to bring? Those CEO skills, you can say those, but what do they actually mean, and where is your role in terms of what your experience leads to giving these young coaches, and actually experienced coaches as well?
Yeah, for a number of years, we've been involved in designing coach and athlete education programs. So the program we've developed for the NWCA has a series of online coaching modules where coaches can go at their convenience. And those modules, they contain some information, but a lot of it is videoing really our top coaches talking about what they've learned about creating a vision, what they've learned about communication, what they've learned about marketing and fundraising. And then the coach watches these modules, they do some exercises, they complete these 10 modules, and then they come to the convention where we have a pre-comp workshop for 2 days where they're with mentors, and then they get mentored for a year. I also have done a lot of work over the years in business, like corporate coaching, working with Wall Street bankers, people in the industry, on how to be better business people, CEOs. And we've taken those skills and applied them to wrestling, leadership principles, things of this nature. A good example of that, we've developed in conjunction with Mike and the other people here at NWCA, 360 evaluation, which is common in business, where an executive rates him or herself on their leadership and their communication. Then their direct reports or the people who work for them rate them, peers rate them, and then their supervisor. Every coach who goes through the academy will take the 360 himself. His supervising athletic director will rate him on those skills, his wrestlers and his peers, as part of a feedback and growth mechanism to get better. So we're really all about using what's been learned in business, in psychology, in wrestling, bring all that to bear to create programs that can really facilitate the development of wrestling. We're not satisfied with stopping the influx of programs that have been eliminated. We want to grow the sport at all division levels and do it through better coach leadership.
What's the one thing, if you had to look at it from our core of coaches, maybe even before and after being involved in these programs or these conventions, what do you think is the single biggest attribute that coaches need to either educate themselves on or improve on?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. When we have designed this program, we bring some of the best coaches in wrestling with 30-some years of experience or 20 years of experience, and they're mentoring these young coaches just starting out. But what I find is so interesting, many times we had one of the coaches the other day, the mentors left the first academy with a to-do list of 17 things he learned. And I think what I've picked up is our best coaches are always learning. They're always getting better. We're trying to capture what they know, give it to the young coaches. But if I'm a young coach, these top coaches, they're there for a reason. They hustle, just like wrestling. You're always learning, you're always trying to get better. And our mentors are, a lot of the mentors, it just amazes me how much they get out of the academy, and they're sort of the old souls passing on the information, but they're so hungry for information themselves to get better.